it's Amy, and we're talking Dallas Cowboys football again this week. It's Cowboys versus Denver. I'm just absolutely disgusted by this game. Dallas should have won this game. There's absolutely no reason that Dallas should have lost this game. And why did they lose this game? Because they have no fire. They have no heart. They have no passion. It's like a bunch of guys who are good on paper out doing their day jobs. I am just so incredibly disappointed. You guys are the Dallas Cowboys, one of the premier organizations in the NFL. It used to be the organization in the NFL. And what do you guys do? Well, you show up and you do your job and you go home. It's just depressing. From the head coach all the way down, all I see is guys who act like it doesn't matter, like they just don't care. And I'm so fed up with this. So Jay Ratliff has passion, he has fire, I respect that. But for the most part, all of our marquee names on the team, they just look like they don't care. So, Tony Romo, Romo, whatever mojo Romo had, it's gone. And now he's just making a big old mess out on the field. Lousy throws to okay receivers who can't turn a lousy throw into something great. And he seems to have no field vision. There were so many plays where he was forcing a play, especially against Champ Bailey. You can't throw a lousy throw against Champ Bailey and expect to get away with it. But he was throwing these lousy throws and forcing it to whatever play was called, and Witten's wide open, or Bennett is available, or there's some other guy on the team who's standing wide open and Romo just doesn't see them. He just seems to have lost that innate quarterback ability to see and make plays on the field. Dude, you got to get that back or do us all a favor and retire, because I just can't take watching it. All right. T.O., Chris Canty, Greg Ellis. I'm making the argument right now that the Cowboys are a weaker team without these three guys. A lot of Tony Romo's lousy passes, I believe T.O. or a receiver of T.O.'s caliber could have caught. Roy Williams is not able to make a great catch out of a lousy throw. Chris Canty seems to be a big factor in DeMarcus Ware's performance last year. DeMarcus Ware is not that dominating fear force, and I don't know why. So my best guess is, with no Chris Canty on the other side, he can't be the superstar that he was last year. Greg Ellis was a sack machine. He's still out there being a sack machine. So why did Jerry let him go? I don't understand these releasing these three great players again. I hear a lot around town that all these outlets saying, "Oh, everybody in Dallas is just beating up on Tony Romo. They're just picking on him. He's lost his confidence because everybody's picking on him." You know what? You're an NFL quarterback. And with that job comes a lot of glory if you do good and a lot of crap if you don't. Hey, if you're doing great, the press loves you and showers you with accolades, and women throw themselves at you, and heck, you can sell your poop on eBay. But if you're doing a lousy job, the wrath of every fan and every press person is going to come down on you. So, do a good job. Be a star quarterback. All that goes away. Wade Phillips, why are you a head coach? Because there is no fire, no passion, nothing there. You look like you're partially comatose in these press conferences. Well, okay, we did a bad job. No wonder there's no fire or guidance here or anything. It's making me crazy. Why were Witten and Bennett not used more in the game against Denver? I barely saw them in any of the plays. Sam Hurd is your go-to guy for the touchdown twice? Sam Hurd? He's not that good. I just don't understand it. We've got great running backs. We've got Witten, and we go to Hurd. I do not understand this play calling. Obviously, I'm not a genius like Jason Garrett, but I don't understand this play calling. How come Dallas has stopped using the slant as a pass pattern? I see straights or sometimes even a skinny post, but Dallas used to be very effective under Bill Parcells of using those little quick 5 to 7 yard slants, and they could do that all day to Witten or any of the receivers, and it worked. I don't understand why they've essentially just given up the slant, at least as far as I can see. Last thing is Felix Jones. I love Felix. I think he's a fantastic player, but can he cut it in the NFL? Because staying healthy is already a problem, and we're only into the 4th game of the season. So I really want to see Felix do well. I think he has such great, and here comes that word again, potential, but if he can't stay healthy, then I don't know what's going to happen. So anyhow, absolutely disgusted with this whole game. Tony Romo, if you can't play, then bench yourself. Not that I think that John Kitna's going to bring us to any victories, but I look at Romo and he's just a disaster right now. He's got to pull it together if he can. I don't know if he can. I don't think he has anybody on this team to develop him as a quarterback, and I don't know what to say about that. So this is a really disappointing season on so many fronts. We've won against 2 teams that can't get a win. We've lost against 2 teams where the opportunity was there. The Cowboys, the win was theirs for the taking, and they didn't take it. They threw it away. So I don't know what's going to happen. So anyhow, next week versus Kansas City. Kansas City is another struggling team. Dallas will likely win against them, but you know, these are kind of shallow victories here. We need a victory with meat in it to get this going. Interesting. 2-2 teams. Some have made the playoffs, some have not. So I'm not making any predictions at this point. I did think it was very interesting that during Monday night's game, they were talking about all the great quarterbacks of the early 90s and how all these teams, well, not all, but many teams with great quarterbacks, the 49ers, Dallas, the Bills, Miami, were all examples of how since their star quarterback had retired, they had essentially gone nowhere, that they had run through coaches and quarterbacks and had not achieved any level of greatness as they had previously. So it got me thinking about all those great quarterbacks in the early 90s. I think we are poised for another glut of great quarterbacks. Like, you know, for the past couple of years, people could name, you know, Peyton Manning and Brett Favre and Tom Brady as really great quarterbacks. But I think that we're going to see a good chunk of really good quarterbacks that are going to make a really good name for themselves from pretty much last year forward. If Tony Romo is not going to be in this group, then Dallas needs to get somebody else. So Tony, step up or step out, but there's quarterback opportunities here. We need them. So Cowboys, I know you will do good in your run against Kansas City next week, and we'll see what happens for the rest of it. Talk to y'all next time.